decided to do a class today on the spine. So normally when we're able to go to classes, I like to work a lot with the ropes. I don't know if you can see these ropes that I have hanging on the wall. And I use them a lot to increase flexibility and strength as well. And we traction the spine with these ropes and the swing. And it's really quite an amazing experience to be able to create space throughout the spine more than what we can physically do just because of gravity. So obviously we can't do that. So I tried to come up with a class that increases spinal mobility. So we're going to move the spine in different directions and try to traction the spine as much as we can. So if you have a strap, a yoga strap, that would be ideal. It's going to be a little harder with a belt to traction, but you'll just do the best that you can. If you don't have a strap, it's really something that I suggest and recommend that you invest in. They're not very expensive, and they really have so many amazing uses for them when we practice yoga. So if you do decide to buy one, just make sure, mine's a clip, which is, easy to use. But just make sure that whatever one you get, when you loop it, it doesn't move. Some of them are a little bit too flimsy here, so it's like too loose. So you don't want that to happen. You want when you tie it, when you loop it, it stays where it is. So when you decide to get one, make sure that it's a good one that can hold and that it's long enough. So I have some shorter ones and some longer ones. So maybe opt for the longer one. And if you have a block, grab a block or something to raise the level, the height of the floor. It could be a book, it could be a weight, it could be anything. And something to sit on. So I'm sitting on a meditation pillow. You can sit on a blanket, you can sit on another pillow, towel, whatever you have. And just come to a comfortable seat. We'll talk a lot about the spine today and the curves and space, creating space between the vertebrae, which obviously over time, as we get older, is something of an issue as far as degenerative spine disease, which sounds really bad, but we all get it as we age. It's just the space between the vertebrae gets smaller. So when that happens, there's more opportunity for discomfort or pain. So we want to keep the spine really healthy and young. Okay? All right, so find a comfortable seat. Cross one leg in front of the other. Whichever one is more comfortable for you. And if you're okay here, you can close your eyes. And just tune into the breath. So your own breath, however you got here, whatever breath pattern, mood, your emotions, your mental state will all affect your breath. So just take a minute to observe. And as you're sitting here, see if you can slow the breath down. Taking in a little bit of a deeper inhale and a deeper exhale. Try to soften through the face, the shoulders, the back, the hips, and the legs, through the arms and all the way down to the fingers. And then while you're sitting here, take a minute to observe the curves of your spine. So without changing anything, can you notice whether you have all the curves. The back of the neck, you're supposed to have an arch, and then a slight rounding through the upper back. As you reach towards the lower back, again, a slight arch. So notice how your spine is as you're sitting here today. And if you feel very rounded, then maybe whatever you're sitting on is not high enough. You want to be able to tip the pelvis slightly forward to create that arch in the low back. And then just see where you can make the adjustments so that you can have those natural curves. And that might help increase the quality of the breath. And the next few inhales that you take, see if you can focus the breath in the lower back. So as you inhale, can you expand the lower back and lengthen it as the sitting bones root down and the crown of the head reaches up? See if you can bring your awareness to the lower back. As you exhale, you'll feel the sensation and the lower back receding back, releasing back to a normal or less of an arch than you can experience on the inhale. So just be there, inhaling, feeling that expansion through the low back. Exhaling, softening in. And again, inhaling, expanding, lengthening through the low back, and exhaling. And then bringing your awareness to the middle back. So right above the low back, not quite into the upper back yet. And see if as you inhale, can you feel the opening and expansion in the middle of the back. And you might feel it in other parts of your body, that's fine. Just bring the awareness. Feel in your mind's eye. Can you see that part of the back? And feel the space in the middle of the back opening with each inhale. Softening in on the exhale. One more breath there. And then bringing the awareness to the upper back. All the way through the neck. Can you feel that expansion and the lengthening with each inhale as the crown of the head lengthens up towards the ceiling? Trying to maintain some of that length on your exhale as you soften in. Continuing with the lengthening each inhale, softening in on your exhale. Take one more deep breath. And the next few breaths, let's see if we can incorporate all those regions in the back. So starting from the low back, as you inhale, can you feel the sitting bones rooting down, and can you feel the length created, space from the low back all the way through the middle of the back, the upper back, and the neck? Just feel without exerting or gripping or tensing. Just see, it could be very minor. Just see if you can feel some opening, some lengthening, expansion through the whole area of the spine. Softening in on the exhale. Inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, softening in. Just take 2 more deep breaths like that, trying to experience breath, making its way from the low back all the way up, and then on the way back down on the exhale. Just imagine this channel where the breath is moving through the spine, all the way up through the crown of the head, and then making its way like a waterfall back down on the exhale. And then just come back to your normal breath. And you can keep the eyes closed or softly open them, keeping a very soft gaze, maybe looking in the downward direction. And then taking the legs and just crossing them in the other way. So whatever leg you had in front, now bring it behind. We'll just take the arms up on the inhale. Try to lengthen through the sides of the body. Exhale. So as you inhale, again, feel the breath all the way from the low back, lengthening and making its way up through the crown of the head. Exhale, take it down. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, take it down. Reach the right hand towards the floor. You can place it on a block. Slightly bend that right hand, reach up through the left. Take the left sitting bone down and really root it down, and then press the right hand into the floor, which will help you take the left sitting bone down and reach through the left fingertips and lengthen. Good. Inhale, come back to center, other side. Left hand slightly bent. Place the left hand firmly on the floor. Reach the right arm up. As you press the left hand, let the right sitting bone really root down into the whatever you're sitting on, the block, a towel, the mat, and then reach through the right fingertips, getting length through the right side, getting some side bending here to the spine. Come back to center one more time. Right hand down, left hand comes up over that left ear, and then gently press the right hand into your mat so you can root that left sitting bone, reach up, really lengthen. Before you go into that side bend, really lengthen through that whole left side, and then maybe come a little bit further, getting some side bend, lateral flexion here, and come back. Other side, left hand comes onto the floor, bend that left hand, move the left shoulder away from the ear, reach the right arm up, press the left hand into the floor, root that right sitting bone, get length through the right side, exhale it over into your lateral flexion here of the spine, right side. Reach, keep reaching through the fingertips, keep pressing the left hand to root the right sitting bone down, and come back up. Good. Okay, so we're going to come into our back supine. And here is where you need your strap. So if you don't have a strap, you're going to just have to use your hands a little bit. So it won't be it'll be a little bit different, but we're just going to do with what we have, okay? All right, so come onto your back. And if you notice, I'm next to a wall. Just for some of the poses, I'm going to use the wall because I think it'll be easier to traction with the wall. So if you have a wall to be next to, it would be helpful. If not, don't worry about it. If you have blocks or something, you can use those too. All right, so come onto your back. Let's just bend the legs. Move the shoulders away from the ears. Take a moment to observe and notice the curves of your spine when you're lying down. So what is touching the floor and what is not touching the floor? So if you're noticing that your head is dipping really far back, you might want to place something under the head here to kind of neutralize the spine. You should have some space under the low back, not a huge amount of space, but a little bit of an arch, and of course under the neck as well. Your upper back is on the floor, the pelvis is on the floor. And just take a few breaths here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is a little bit of tractioning. We're going to use the belt here. And you might have to make adjustments, but you're going to place the strap on top of the right thigh and into the left foot. All right, now notice that I have the strap here so that I could adjust. So I want you to place the strap in the top of the right thigh and you make it kind of tight so when your leg is a little bit bent, the left leg, the strap is almost completely straight. And if you don't have a strap, you're just going to place your hand here instead of the strap. And when we extend that left leg, you're going to press the top of that right thigh. But if you have the strap, you'll take an inhale. Exhale, you're going to start to straighten that left leg. And now I see that I need to tighten my strap a bit. So again, make sure the strap is in the hip crease. Inhale and exhale, press. So it should be pretty tight. So what you're doing here is you should feel the top of the right thigh being moved away from you. And then just release, exhale, press into it. Inhale, exhale, straighten the leg. So you can see that my strap is really tight. And maybe I'll make it a little bit tighter. So play with it a little bit. And then I want you to hold here. Press that right foot down and just feel the top of the thigh being kind of drawn away towards the back of the mat, towards the left foot, which will help lengthen, create some space here in the hip, which will create space in the low back. And then release. So the length should be pretty much the same. You're going to switch sides. Take the strap at the top of the left thigh, right in that hip crease. As you exhale, you're going to press the right foot and straighten it. Inhale, release. Exhale, press. And if you don't feel like it's tight enough, so make it tighter on this side. And come back a few more times here. Obviously, the closer you place your foot towards the sitting bone, also that'll make the experience a little bit tighter, a little bit more of a pull. So this is a way to traction each side of the low back without having ropes on the wall. And we'll take two more. One. And the second time, here we go. And that's great. So come back, switch sides. So take it right back again into the right. And make sure you're able to adjust it. So you're going to have to loosen it here a bit. What we're going to do here is you're going to straighten the left leg and you're going to hug the right leg in. And you'll see that it gets much tighter. So exhale the leg in and then release. And if it floats, if the left leg starts to float up a little bit, that's okay. And if you need to adjust it, go ahead and adjust. And then release. You want to keep that left leg active. You kind of don't have a choice because the strap is tight. Exhale, hold here. Keep thinking about it. If you don't have the strap, you're going to use your hand or maybe your fingers right here in the crease and move it away. And then release. And take the other side. So the strap's going to go into the right hip crease, the left hip crease and into the right foot. All right, make sure the buckle is not in a place where as you bend the leg, it's going to hurt you. And then hug that left leg in. Inhale, let it move away. Exhale, bring it a little bit closer. As you bring it in, you can push out into the right foot if it's not too intense for you. And then 2 more times here. Last one here. Exhale, hold another breath or 2. Keep that right leg active. And then release. All right, let's switch back. You're going to place the strap into the left foot and on top of the left thigh. And I'm going to adjust my strap here a little bit. So everyone is going to be a little bit different, depends on your hamstring. So what you want to try to do is you're going to have it here at the top of the left hip, right hip. And you want it to be taut so that when you hold onto the leg, and if you need another strap here, if your leg is here, you want it to be tight just as well. You want to be able to, as you bring the leg close to you, you want the top of this right thigh to move in the opposite direction. So as you press into the left foot, you see my toes are pointing up and I'm pressing into the strap. I'm going to start to hug the right leg in and reach up through the right foot. So again, as you're here for a few breaths, you might notice that you can tighten it a little bit, and you can go ahead and do that. But if it's enough the way it is, just obviously leave it, respecting our body and where it is. So pressing out through the left foot, reaching up through the right, and having this very small movement of bringing the right leg in as you're pressing through the left foot and the top of the right thigh is moving in the opposite direction. And then before we switch sides, you're going to take the right leg over just a little bit, just to the line of the left shoulder. And keep pressing through that right foot so you get some length here. So this right hip keeps moving away from you. Another 2 breaths here. Keep reaching up through the right foot. Pressing out through the left, keeping that left leg active. And come back to center. Release. Hug it in. And take that right leg down. And the other side. So the strap's now going to be at the top of the left hip crease into the right foot. And you're going to lift your right leg. And if you can't grab it, take a belt, towel, a strap, whatever you may need here. So right leg active, toes pointing up. Make sure this strap is at the top of that left thigh. And as you press through the right foot, reach up through the left and gently start to bring that left leg in a little bit. Make the adjustments that you need. Each side might be a little bit different, And it's always good to notice and observe differences between the two sides of your body, which we all have. And again, reaching up through the left foot, reaching out through the right, drawing the leg in maybe a little bit closer, keeping the left hip down by the help of this right foot, reaching out into the strap. Another 2 breaths here. And then before we take the strap out, you're going to just reach the right leg over, the left leg over to the line of the right shoulder. Keep reaching up through that left foot and reaching out through the right, as that helps you lengthen the left hip down and away from your head. Taking another breath. And then coming back to center, hugging that leg in one last time, and releasing. Okay. So just notice how that feels when compared to when we just normally do that. You have a lot of space that we created here, which makes space in the low back. Take a minute to just observe how that feels. And then reach your feet out. Reach out through the heels. Inhale, take the arms up overhead and lengthen the whole body. So reach out through the fingertips, reach out through the heels, and then release. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, can you lengthen? And then release. 2 more times. Lengthen and then release. Lengthen and release. And then lift one leg and the other. And then roll on to your side. Slowly come up. All right, so keep your strap handy. We're going to do a few more things with it. And let's come on to all fours. Take a few cat-cows here, bringing awareness to your spine. All right, so we're working through the spine here, bringing a lot of awareness. So just be aware of the areas of the spine that may move a little bit more freely and the other areas that might not. And see if you can bring a little bit more breath and awareness to those spaces that might have a little bit less mobility. And see if you can create a little bit more space there. And then come back to center, curl the toes, and make your way into downward facing dog. Find a distance between your hands and your feet where you can really get some length through the spine. So if you're too short, it's really hard to do that. And if you're too long, you kind of lose control. So find the space, the amount between the hands and the feet, the distance, where as you root the hands down and forward, you can bring some weight towards the back. Maybe bend the legs here. In fact, let's all bend the legs and really create space here through the spine. Think about the sitting bones and the hips reaching back and up. Gently draw the belly in and up. Plant the hands. Spread the fingers. Spread the shoulder blades. And then inhale forward to plank. Exhale back. So we're going to start to round the spine. Come forward into plank.
and reach the heart forward. Bend the legs, arch the back as you come into downward facing dog. Okay, find your way here. Maybe stay here or maybe start to straighten your legs. Find space in the spine. It's all about the spine today. Start to round the spine. As you come forward to plank, reach the heart forward, bend the legs, reach the hips back as you plant the hands, reaching them as if you were sliding them to the front of your mat. Lengthen the spine. Maybe straighten the legs one more time. Round the spine as you come forward to plank. Reach the heart forward. Bend the legs. Arch. Come back into your down dog. Maybe straighten the legs. Inhale, right leg up. Bring the right leg forward and drop the left knee.
So take your hands, clasp them on the right thigh, and I want you to press them down to get that lift through the whole spine. So really find that you're pressing into that right leg to move the shoulders away from the ears as well and lift through the crown of the head. Press down through the left shin, the left foot, get length through the spine, and then release. Plant the hands, lift the left leg, come back into your plank, and make your way into downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Bring that left leg forward. Drop the right knee. Inhale up. Plant the hands. Press down into that thigh, shoulders away from the ears, lift through the crown of the head, and really press down through that right shin to get length through the spine here. And then release. Take it down, lift the right leg, come back through plank. Exhale, down dog. One more time. This time, reach the right leg up, bring it forward. Plant the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Press the hands into the right thigh. And maybe come forward a little bit. Keep pressing down. Inhale, lift. Good. Come back a little bit. This time, take the right hand in front of that right thigh. Inhale the left arm up. Press down through the left shin. Exhale, take it over. Keep reaching and lengthening. Good. Come back to center. Take that left hand down. Lift the left leg. Right arm reaches up for a gentle twist here. Open twist. Take the right hip back. Reach up through the right fingertips. And take the right hand down. Find your way into plank. And downward facing dog. So find, it might be for today's class that keeping the legs bent just feels better. It gives you more ability to lengthen because you're taking the hamstrings out. If anyone has tight hamstrings, it's really hard to focus on lengthening the spine when your legs are straight and you're kind of rounded. So see what feels right for you today. Inhale, left leg up. Bring the left leg forward. Drop the right knee. Take the hands, plant them on the leg, and lift. Really lengthen the spine. And then release. Take the left hand in front of the left thigh. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Press down through the right shin. And then maybe come over a little bit, but keep length here through the whole right side of the body. Keep reaching up through the right fingertips. Come back to center. Take the right hand down, lift the right leg. Keep that right leg really strong as you lift up into your open twist here. Take the left hip back, reach up. Nice, come back, take the left hand down,
Reach the right leg back, find your plank. Finding plank here, can we find length? Find what's happening here in the spine. So in plank, it's a little different, right? The upper back is rounding. We're pulling the core, the front of the body up to support the body. Pressing the hands down, reaching the heels back and reaching the crown of the head forward. Exhale, down dog. And then step to the top of your mat. I'm going to face the front here. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. So if you're comfortable with your feet together, you can fold that way. Otherwise, take your feet about hip distance apart. And then take your elbows with the opposite hands and grab them. And then try to bring your chest to your thighs, so bend your legs. And try to soften down towards the floor. Try to drape the torso over the legs here. Try to think about space here, opening up. Feel the heaviness of the head towards the floor. Keep planting the feet and maybe lifting the sitting bones up a little bit. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back into down dog. If you want to take a vinyasa, you can take a vinyasa here. Inhale, right leg up. Bring the right leg forward. Reach the heart forward. Keep that left hand on the floor. Open up, twist. Take the right hand down, come back. Inhale, left leg up, bring it forward. Heart forward. Right hand down, lift up. Take the left hand down, reach the right leg forward to meet the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands come to your heart. Okay. Find your strap for the next pose we're going to do. All right, you're going to take your strap underneath your right foot. Your left toes are the front of the mat. And I need to just lengthen my strap here. And you're going to take it, and you're going to close it and tighten it. You're going to tighten it around. Sorry, the strap should be right in front here. Around the left hip crease. Okay, so I have my strap so that I can actually adjust it here. So the strap is facing me, and I'm going to make a little bit of an adjustment. It should be pretty tight, and you'll be able to adjust it when you're in the pose if you need to. But if you can, I'd like you to be next to a wall. So you have some support here. So if you have a long stance here for triangle, it's okay, because the strap is actually giving you some support. So inhale, take your arms. So you see that mine is quite tight here, and as I get into it, I might have to make an adjustment. We'll see how that goes. Take the arms out, and I want you to start to reach your left hand up towards the wall, and I am going to adjust it a bit. I want to feel this strap drawing the top of my hip and my pelvis in the opposite direction. And you can also adjust by moving the back leg.
So you're gonna take that left hand up the wall, maybe even rest your head. And then take your hand either on your hip, or if you want to reach it up, you can even reach it over towards the wall as well. And keep walking that left hand up so that you can keep continuing to lengthen through the left side. So a lot of times in triangle, what happens is we tend to collapse here. So we're using the wall and the strap to really open up this bottom side body. And then reach through, maybe walk that back foot a little bit to give you a little bit more traction. And then come back. I have to walk my foot back in a little bit to help me. And then I'm going to take this off. It can be pretty intense with the strap, just as the ropes are. But when you come out, you kind of feel the difference between the pose with and without. And maybe we'll do it now without. So you can drop the strap. We'll do the same side. Left toes point to the top of the mat. Align the back foot, either heel to arch or heel to heel. I think I prefer heel to arch here. Reach your hands out and then start to make your way into your pose. So I'm going to use my block. Place the hand on the block or your shin and then lift the right arm up. Plant the feet, and then can you find length through both sides of the side here to lengthen the spine. Inhale, come back to center, pivot both of your feet so they're parallel. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, come forward. So it's a great place to use a block if you need one. Place your hands on the block or the floor. Okay, I'm going to place my hands on the floor. And this instruction will help you get a little bit deeper. So think about your hands gliding out in front of you, but place them on the sticky mat. So when you move, to make that motion with the hands, they don't actually move anywhere. You don't want to do this. You want to keep them in one place. And then as if you were doing that. So that's going to help you as you plant the feet and glide the hands forward without moving them. It's going to help lift the sitting bones. And then start to feel heavy with the head towards the floor. It's creating space here through the spine. And then gently, again, can you glide those hands forward? Maybe bringing your head down a little bit closer, getting a little bit deeper into this fold. Inhale, come back up, lengthen the spine here, bend the legs, find your strap and come up. And rotate triangle on the other side. So again, I'm gonna loop this in front, around, I gotta change this. How did I do this? Oh, here. All right, so it's around the right thigh, underneath the left foot. Okay, that right foot, toes pointing towards the back of your mat now. Adjust it so that you can make the adjustment when you're in the pose. So make sure this loop is facing you. But now we don't have the wall. All right, sorry. Let's move so that we actually can use the wall. I'm going to turn around here. So now my right toes are pointing to the wall. The strap is at the top of the right thigh. And take your arms out and start to make your way into the pose. When you come into it, you have to maybe adjust it a little bit. I do. I need to make it a little bit tighter. Maybe walk that back foot a little bit and then reach the right hand up the wall Get space through the right side. Keep that left hand either on the hip, or you can reach up, reaching through both hands and really creating space here through the sides of the body. Make sure that this strap is guiding the top of the thigh in the opposite direction, so you get some traction there as well. Inhaling, coming back. Walk that back foot in a little bit. Come back, I'm gonna face you again, sorry about that. And then point the toes out. We'll do one more thing with the strap to traction, and then I think we'll be done with that. So you're gonna point the toes out. Take your hands to your heart and start to come into your very wide-legged squat here. So gravity is really taking you down. See if you can create some length through the crown of the head here. Maybe take it a little bit lower down. And then bring your hands onto the thighs. And then dip that left shoulder, press the left hand into the left thigh to create some space here and length. Come back to center, other side. Right side, if you can, try to keep that right arm straight. Press into the right thigh, open to the hip. And really also create space here through the neck. Come back to center, other side. Pressing that left hand into the left thigh. Other side. Come back to center, hands to your heart. Inhale up. All right, we're going to do one more. It's best if you have a strap, and if you're near a wall, that would be really helpful. What we're going to do here is, all right, so you're going to take it a long opening here. You're going to take it around, I'm actually going to open it, it's just going to be easier. So you're going to step on it, take your feet about hip distance apart, and then strap it behind you, close it behind you. And then your feet should be parallel. And you're going to take the strap onto your sacrum, okay? Now, the strap should be pretty tight with your legs bent. That's where you want to start. And you're going to take your hands on the wall. So I have to adjust myself here a little bit. Okay, now, by pressing the feet into the floor, you're standing on the strap. You're going to guide the hips back, and your hands are pressing into the wall. So you're really creating some form of traction here. Now, if you want, you can start to straighten your legs, or you can keep them bent. If it feels like it's too loose, when you're in it, sometimes when you start, it feels tight, but then it doesn't. So feel free to adjust it. Just make sure you place it onto the sacrum. Inhaling, press your hands into the wall. Exhale, take the hips back. Let the strap draw the sacrum in the other direction, getting some traction. Inhale, press your hands and feet into the wall and floor. Exhale, hips back. So you can straighten it if you want. I feel like I get more out of it with my legs bent. I have a little bit more control over taking the hips back. And come up a little bit here. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, let's come up a few more times.
Exhale, reach back. Inhale, one more time. Exhale, reach the hips back. Let that strap draw the hips and the sacrum away, creating space in the low back. Bend the legs and come up. Okay, you can drop that. Let's just do a little bit of movement here. Inhale, we'll do some sun salutations. Exhale, take it all the way down. Plant the hands. Inhale, lengthen, plant, come into plank. Come all the way onto the floor. You can drop your knees or just take full chaturanga. Oh, roll the shoulders back. Come into your cobra or your up dog. Extension of the spine here. Make your way back into downward facing dog. Take another breath. Inhale forward. Come all the way onto the floor. Roll the shoulders back, plant the feet. Cobra or up dog. Hug the arms in towards the body. Come back through plank into downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up, bring it forward. Inhale, reach. So try to find that length through the spine here. Open up into warrior two. Reverse the warrior. Reach up. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach through the left fingertips. Come all the way down. Plant the hand. Reach back. Make your way into downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Bring it forward. Crescent lunge. Plant the feet. Inhale, reach up. Take a breath. Open up warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Come back. Plant hands, plank. Come onto the floor. All right, take the shoulders back and down. Plant the hands, plant the feet, press the feet in, press the pubic bone in, and then come up into your cobra. Hug the upper arms in towards the chest, and reach the heart forward to lengthen the spine. Exhale, take it down, curl the toes, make your way back into downward facing dog. Again, feel free to keep the legs bent here to get space and length through the spine. Inhale, take the right leg up. Bring the right leg forward. Get really grounded through the feet. Inhale, come up into crescent lunge. As you reach the arms up, think about lengthening through the sides of the body and through the spine. So as you take the lower half of your body into the lunge, reach up through the fingers, maybe gaze up, lengthen, think about length and space. Exhale your hands to your heart. Hop the back leg in, Square the hips. You can use a block here for Parshvottanasana, pyramid pose. So square the hips and think about, as you come forward, think about the right hip, the right sitting bone, reaching back towards the left heel as both sitting bones then reach back. So you want to think about taking the hips back, the crown of the head comes forward, find length through the spine, take the shoulders away from the ears, lengthen through the sides of the neck, reach back through the left heel, and breathe here through the spine. Can you create space? Inhale. Coming up, I have to take my right foot back a little bit here for Ardha Chandrasana, half
moon. Take the block to the top right corner of the mat. Slowly take the left leg up. Reach out through the left foot. Press down through the right hand and reach up through the left fingertips and see if you can find space through the bottom here, the bottom right, the right side of the body. Slowly, as you bend the right leg, square the hips. Take your hands down. Plant the hands. Lift the left leg up. Drape the torso over that right thigh. Let the head hang heavy here. Inhale, lift. Bring that leg back in towards the right leg. Exhale. Take it down. Extend. Reach it in. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Length. Exhale. Take it down. And then bring the left leg in. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Bend the legs. Inhale, come up all the way. Reach the hands up, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, lengthen. Step back, plank. And downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Bring the left leg forward. Get grounded through the feet. Inhale up, crescent lunge. So again, as the lower part of your body comes into the lunge, inhale, lift the arms up, find length from the waist all the way through the sides, all the way through the armpit, through the fingertips, and through the spine. Reach, maybe take the gaze up. Inhale your hands to your heart. Hop the right leg in a little bit for Parshvottanasana. Square the hips and start to come forward and think about the left hip moving towards the right heel. And then as you come forward, take both sitting bones back and the crown of the head forward. And can you find length through the spine? Shoulders move away from the ears. The left sitting bone towards the right heel, and then both sitting bones back. Reach the heart forward, reach the crown of the head forward. Take another deep breath here. And then we're going to move into Ardha Chandrasana. Take the block to the top left corner of the mat. Start to open up here. Lifting the right leg, taking the right arm up if that's comfortable. You can always leave the hand on the hip. Ground down through the left foot. Can you find space and length through the left side of the body and the right side? Taking a deep breath here. With each breath, find more space and length. Bend the left leg, slowly take it down. Hands come to the mat or your blocks. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Take the leg up as far as is okay and comfortable for you, and then take the head down towards the floor. You can bend the leg and bring the chest towards the thigh. Get heavy. Try to scoot the torso forward, bringing the head a little bit closer towards the floor. Inhale. Lift the heart. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, left. Exhale. Well, we didn't do this. Is inhale, take the leg in. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the leg, slowly bring the right leg down. Inhale, lengthen the spine here. Exhale, fold.
Take your peace fingers and grab onto the big toes. Inhale, bend the legs a lot. Bring the chest onto the thighs as close as you can get them to the chest, to the thighs. Inhale, take the shoulders away, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Pull on the big toes, take the elbows out to the sides, and can you let your head become really heavy? Try to relax the head down. Press down through the feet. Hold on to those big toes. Lift the sitting bones. And release. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And then come up all the way. Hands come to your heart. Okay, have a seat. And we're going to take the right leg out. The left leg will be hugging in towards the right thigh. So the greater this angle is, the more challenging it can be for some, depending on the how open your hips are. So it doesn't need to be that far. Okay. Take the strap around the right foot. And now we're going to use the strap to try to lengthen the spine. So if you need to sit on something here, if you're very rounded or very tight in the hamstrings, it will be helpful to sit on something. I want you to try to ground through the sitting bones and then draw on the ropes as if you're drawing them down towards the floor. Shoulders move away from the ears and lift. So really use that to lift and lengthen the spine. So try to get heavy through the sitting bones. Try to lengthen through the sides of the neck. Try to release the shoulder blades and the shoulders down the back. And then maybe here, if you want, you can try to start to come forward a little bit, but not losing the spine here. You want to keeping the shape, the neutral spine, the curves, so that you can keep lengthening and creating space. So sometimes we like to round the spine and just fall into the fold, but today we're just going to keep the integrity of the spine. We're just going to keep that length. So maybe come forward. Again, if it causes you to round, just hold back. Sometimes it's hard to do that for all of us. So if you're going to come forward, think about the sitting bones rooting down, the crown of the head coming towards the place where the wall and the ceiling meet as you lengthen the spine. And then inhale, come back. You can move the strap over. You're going to twist here. So we're going to take the right hand over to the left thigh. And instead of placing it over, place it on top. So we're going to use this right hand to really ground this left thigh down. And you're going to take the left arm up and over. And you're going to twist and think about your twisting as if you were going to bring the back side here onto the thigh. It's clearly not going to get there. It's quite a deep twist. But that's the direction that you want to go in. And your right hand is really helping this left side, the left sitting bone, the left thigh, really rooting down and grounding down. And then reach up through the left fingertips, take it into the twist, and come down. Keep rooting that right hand down into the thigh, helping that left sitting bone root down. Try to be as heavy as you can in that left sitting bone. Twisting, reaching, getting a really nice twist here in one of the very deep muscles called the QL. And then inhale, come up. Come back to center. Take a moment to observe how that felt. Do you feel a difference between sides? Take both legs out in front of you. You can use the strap here. As you take a strap in each hand,
You're going to draw on the strap, pull a little bit on the strap, and lift the spine. Feel heavy through the sitting bones. Feel the crown of the head lifting. And notice how the strap really helps to give you a lift here. And then let's switch sides. So the left leg is straight, is extended out, and the right foot is into that left thigh. And again, lift and lengthen. Shoulders move down, finding space through the sides of the neck, the back of the neck. Getting heavy through the sitting bones. Finding that breath again. Noticing where you feel the breath expanding and releasing. Can you feel the breath moving up and down the spine? And then maybe you want to come forward, and as you do that, think about lengthening the spine, not rounding. So even though sometimes we do soften in, today we're just really trying to create space. So as you draw on the ropes and get heavy through the sitting bones, can you continue to lengthen through the spine from the sacrum all the way through the crown of the head? Taking another breath. And then come back to center. Take the left hand over the right thigh. And you're going to reach the right arm up and over. I'm just going to use my hand here. And I want you to think about twisting as if you wanted to bring the back onto this left thigh. And then get really heavy through the right sitting bone. And maybe you can take that the left hand, and press the top of the right thigh down. That might help ground it. And then reach and twist. And can you breathe into that right side? This is a pretty deep twist. And then come back up. Ooh, take the legs wide. Can you keep the toes active, pointing up, pressing the heel down? Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, maybe come forward a little bit. Maybe you're here. Take your hands in front of you. Press, lift, lengthen the spine, and then maybe walk them a little bit forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach and lengthen. Inhale, coming up, finding length. Exhale, keeping that length as you reach a little bit forward. And again, inhale, come up, keep the sitting bones rooting down. Finding length as you exhale, come forward. Inhale, come up. Great. All right, we're going to come back onto the back. And we're going to do one more traction here. We're going to end with a traction before Shavasana. Okay. So you can place the strap on your sacrum. It's going to cross over the thighs and underneath the feet. So I hope you can see here. I'll show you the front view here. All right, so it's on the back over here. So I'm going to keep the soles of the feet together just to get into it. The strap's going to come over and then under my feet. Now, if you can, try to have the strap so it's towards you so that you can make the adjustment. Now, I'm not putting the strap into my low back. It's on my sacrum, okay? Then I'm going to lay down. And you want to make sure that the strap is strapped to the inner thigh, because otherwise it's not going to work. So again, the strap is on the sacrum, and you're going to take the knees up, and I'm going to make mine looser because it is, I guess, always better to make it looser because it's easier to tighten it. Okay. So I'm taking my knees, so they're parallel. My knees are pointing up towards the ceiling, and I'm going to start to straighten my legs. Now, they don't have to get all the way straight, but what you're trying to do here as you press the feet away from you is you're tractioning the sacrum and the low back, creating space. So you're going to move away and then press out. And then back it off. And then again, pressing the strap. So the strap has to be pretty tight. Your legs have to be somewhat bent because if you straighten them all the way, the strap will just fall over to the side. So make sure the strap stays on the inner part of the leg. And again. So we're going to do it in both directions with the breath. So walk them a little bit away. Take an inhale. Exhale. Press the feet and straighten the legs a little bit. And then walk them back. Take an exhale here. And then inhale. Exhale here. And then walk the feet back. We'll try one more both ways. Inhale, exhale, press the feet. Take a breath here. Inhale, and then exhale it out. Walk the feet back a little bit. Exhale everything out. And then inhale, start to straighten the feet a little bit, the legs. Exhale. Take another full breath here. Exhale, maybe press a little bit more. And then walk them back. And release. Hug your knees into your chest. Take them back. Hug them in again. And again, move them away from you, hug them towards you. Take the right ankle and cross it over the left thigh. Open the right thigh here, move the right thigh away from you. Maybe bring the legs in closer. Take a supine pigeon here. Inhale, move the legs away. Exhale, hug them in. Do that a few times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold it here. Can you lengthen the spine here on the mat? So you might have noticed that the low back, the lumbar spine is rounding. So maybe take the sacrum back down towards the mat, creating that slight arch in the low back again. And that will also deepen the pose, but try to find your neutral spine here. And then release. Take the left ankle on the right thigh, move that left thigh away from you. And then maybe hug the legs in. Inhale, move the legs away. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale, hold it here. Lengthen the spine back onto the mat. Find that slight arch in the low back. Keep the left foot flexed. Take a few breaths. And then release the legs. Windshield wiper the legs back and forth. And then set yourself up for Shavasana. So you want to extend the legs, reach the arms, and find a comfortable place where you can surrender and release into the mat, letting it all go, letting the spine just melt towards the mat. Letting the fingers just curl, letting the toes splay out. Finding softness. Feel free to stay here longer in Shavasana. It's always great to take a good 5 minutes for Shavasana. Slowly, again, if you want, please stay longer. Otherwise, slowly start to move your fingers and your toes, bringing awareness back to the physical body, bringing awareness back to the breath. Slowly bending one leg and then the other. Bringing them closer to your chest, holding onto your knees. Maybe rocking side to side, finding those muscles on the back that support the spine. And then slowly start to come onto the side, resting on the right arm. And taking your left hand on the floor, slowly coming up, pressing into a seated position, finding a comfortable seat. You can keep the eyes closed here or a soft gaze. And finding the palms and reaching them together, bringing them together at your heart. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope that some of the things we did are helpful and useful tools for you to find ways to traction and find space, create space and length through the spine. Very often, back pain comes from a lot of things, but compression through the vertebrae in different parts of the spine can create a sensation or compress on the nerves, and that can create some pain and discomfort. So finding space and being able to traction is a way to release the pressure off of the nerves and can often relieve some pain, discomfort. So I hope that if you do have any back discomfort, that's something that was helpful to you. Whether you do or you don't, finding space and length for the back is a great thing to do. And I hope you guys have a great day.